What is up? What is up? Can you hear me? Yes, you can. I may look a little crazy right now. I know I need a haircut. If you don't see me right now, it's because I'm just grabbing some stuff. Give me 2 minutes. I'll do right in there. Okay. All right. What is up? What is up, YouTube? Trying a new little camera setup. It's like split half and half. Pretty cool if you ask me. We're doing some Honda Civic amps. This guy's Kevin Liu. Kevin Liu. What do you think about the split camera? That's not the guy. What is this guy's name? This is Daniel Sosa. Daniel Sosa. Okay, he got the amp. All right, so we got to do 2 5-channel amps for Honda Civics. So get right into it. Actually, I don't like the setup too much, so let's swap. Okay. I know you can't really see yet. Actually, this camera is very zoomed out. You can like see my whole desktop. That doesn't help you because then you can't see what I'm doing. All right. Let's plug that back in. Check off in a second. I'll zoom this in. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to be sitting right here, so let's turn this a little bit. All right, cool. All right, and then I did kind of mess this camera up a little bit. All right. So, one thing at a time. Let's get these wires out of here. So we're doing a 5-channel amp for a Honda Civic, which means that we are wiring this together to start. But before that, we got to take out pins from here because they are not in a Honda Civic. So go harnesses, amplifier harnesses, amplifier, Honda Civic, and then if we go into images, it'll tell me which one to take out. So number 6 is empty. Okay, so number 6. So we're looking at it this way. Oh, I should order more Camus tools because I'm out. Okay, let me order that up real quick. Amazon Camus pin tool. I broke my de-pinning tool, so now I have to find some. Well, not that I broke the one I use the most. I hate the little circle handheld ones. Those things suck. So I want good ones. But it looks like they don't sell that brand anymore on Amazon. But they sell other ones like it. There it is. It's now called, I don't know, it has a whole different name. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to see if there's a better one. I'd like to get a full metal one, but it's just, it needs to be thin. Since it needs to be thin, they just always break no matter what. So yeah, I think we're just going to order that, even though it is what it is. All right, now that those are on the way, we're going back to what we were talking about, which is looking at pin number 6. So front right tweeter, front right speaker, front left speaker, front right tweeter, and this is subwoofer. But this, since it's for the TSX, it'll say sub R, sub L. But on the Honda Civic, there is no sub L. So then this pin right here, which is this green wire, has to come out because there's no sub there. No, but people have used it. So someone asked, "Do you make a harness for a oh 04 to oh 08 TSX Android radio and your PMP MV port amp?" Um, no, but I'll show you how to do it. One sec, because people have done it. Hold on, I'm screwing this up. Okay, so that's 6 in, yeah, 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me get this out of here, and I'll show you. Do 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 do. Come on. Come on, bro. I'm not doing the wrong one. This is what happens when you don't have the right depinning tool. You gotta grab a different one, and this one's weaker, so then it's bends instead of lifting the pin up. Come on, bro. And then when you do this too much, you start damaging the plastic of the inside of the connector. And then once that's messed up, you're just screwed. All right, we're gonna have to have a little bit of force here instead. Nothing's ever gonna go here, so it's all right if I force it out. I just hate forcing them out. But oh, I didn't force it out all the way. Okay. All right, let me show you that real quick. Oh, I ruined this. That's why I wasn't coming out. I ruined this. Nice job, guy. All right, we'll see if we can fix that some other time. But for me not being careful, I took out the wrong pin. I can't believe I counted 6. And then I messed it up still. How did I mess that up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I really can't believe I messed that up that bad. All right, got that one out. I swore I was going right below it. Yeah, it should have been that easy. What's up, Spark? All right, let's answer this guy's question. Hopefully, he didn't leave. All right, Christian. So I'll show you how to do it. Me and screen, and then okay. Oh nope, wrong one. Okay. All right, so shop. Let's go amplifiers because we need to cover the amplifier first. Make sure I didn't lose audio. Okay, no, I haven't lost audio. All right, cool. All right, so look, so you come down to the amplifier. This is the TSX. On the side is where the RCAs plug in, and then this harness normally comes from. Oh, you can't even see that. This harness right here normally comes. This one from the. I was wondering if I grabbed the right mic because I knew one wasn't charged. All right, so back to what I was saying. Your radio, the Android screen, right, that we were talking about, has RCAs on the back. It has this little harness right here that's going to look exactly like this. Let me swap it to this camera. So on this harness, you'd never have enough RCAs. I'll show them to you. So you have subwoofer, so you can run a sub amp, right? But then when you want to do audio, normally audio you need 4. You need front left, front right, and then rear right, rear left. If we look at these labels, it doesn't say that. These say auxiliary, which means this is audio in. So these are the only ones that have audio out. You get audio out front left, audio out front right. You see audio out R, audio out L. So these are the two that are on the back of that radio. So to make 2 into 4 and make the amp work, I'm gonna head to Amazon and go 2-channel to 4-channel RCA cable. And there's like one that's perfect because it's the right length already that a customer bought. Hold on. You want like 3 feet, maybe a little bit more, like 6 feet. Not really. The radio's right there. Honestly, 3 feet is more than enough. But you do want 2 male to 4 female. So 2 male to 4 female. 1.5 feet. This might be a little tight, but this is kind of the cable you're looking for. Huh? Let's find the right cable. That's a little tight. How many feet is this? It looks like a lot of wire. We don't need that much wire. 3.2 feet. Here we go. So this is exactly what you're looking for. So it's going to take those two. And then we have sound yet. It's going to take those 2 RCAs, right? Hold on. When I zoom in, you don't get to see. So it's going to take these 2. Yeah, it still puts it off to the side. All right, whatever. I'm going to do it on here. So it takes these 2, and then it gives you 4 to plug into the amp. Because remember, the amp has 4 on the side, but you're only going to have 2. So the amp has 4 RCAs here on the side, but your radio only has those 2 ports. So to make 2 into 4, you grab this cable, and then you're able to use the plug and play amp on that Android screen. You just won't have any fader controls. So what that means is if you go into the radio settings, you can like balance left and right. So like you want to hear it on the left side or the right side, but let's say like for some reason you want to hear more in the back than in the front, you can't do that. You won't have that ability with a setup like this, but it will work. The other harnesses are the same. So when you go to order the amp, you're just going to order the amp as normal. And then when you get it, you just won't use this blue harness down here. This you will omit, you won't connect, but you will connect this plug like normal to the amp. You'll just ignore this and then run your RCAs like normal, and then you can run it just like that. Super easy, super simple. There is a more complex way if you take this, plug it in, and lower the output within the settings of the Android screen. I don't recommend doing that. It's just going to be more annoying. The RCA way is easy. Oh, I was going to put the link in the chat for you. One sec. I just didn't want to give you this crazy long link. I wanted like a short one. There you go. So here you go. Okay. All right, let's get back to moving this together. Let's go swap and then go me in the corner. Okay, so I took out that wire this time. I didn't ruin this harness. And then I can put this back in the car. And then I can start wiring this together. Let me get some heat shrink. All right, cool. Yeah, no worries, man. And then Spark, I had a pretty good weekend. How about you? I finally got a couch. It was a little $300 off Marketplace. Came from a decent home. It was a little dirty. My wife had to clean it up some. It was heavy. I had to lug it around myself. Rented a Home Depot van. Got it all done. So finally we have a good couch. Just, you know, it's drying off right now because we deep cleaned it. And then I went to the park. And then I did some behind the scenes stuff. I bought a lot of stuff to finish up the videos and stuff. The last thing I need is I need to sell some stuff. So like I'm always have things to sell from just different avenues of life. So like I have a Ring camera. Here, I'll show you. So Spark, you've seen my camera system. We have the Rio Link. So I have this old doorbell. I have two doorbells because I used to have a dual doorbell setup at the old rental house. So I'm trying to sell those so I could buy a car battery. I know it sounds ridiculous, but so I could sell. There's like two cameras. There's two doorbells, a sync module, and then like a single camera that you can mount somewhere in there. I'm trying to sell it for $100, so I could use that money to go buy a battery from AutoZone or Walmart, so I can put in the car outside, so that I can test something on that car because it doesn't use the same battery as the TL. Also, I don't like taking my car apart to test stuff. Like, it really irks me. I like to have my car complete. So like right now, the fact that it's been in here all the time, I haven't driven it just because like I hate driving around with it like semi disassembled. But to assemble it again and then disassemble it again to finish the video is so annoying. So I'm just waiting for that stuff to come in. We'll finish that video up and then we'll move on to the car outside. But yeah, cleaned obviously. Fix the printers. Oh yeah, that was part of the reason why I didn't stream on Friday was because I was having major printer issues again. Just prints coming out terrible, print quality being terrible. I'll show you. I didn't send it, but I was almost ready to send it to a customer. Was this guy? Yeah, this guy. I think I showed these on stream. So look, this one doesn't look too terrible, right? It doesn't look too terrible. But there is this mark here. Then this one looks kind of bad, like it got burned or something, right? But this is like the quality I was dealing with. This finally fixed the correct printer that prints these. And like, yeah, you see that white to it, but like once you take the lighter to it, that white goes away and then it just looks nice and clean. Where is the lighter? It's over here. All right, look, so now nice shiny and black and it's nice and clean. And like this appearance, so like functionality, the board's still gonna work. It's not gonna make a difference, but it just bothers me when I have to send something kind of messed up like that. Hey, let's go, baby. Yeah, I don't even I didn't get a chance. I wanted to play some video games, but I told myself not till I hit my goal. So once we get there, my goal is to do every single order. Basically, to get to the point where I have no orders in the queue. Once I do that, then I can play video games. But I just haven't gotten there yet. Every time I'm getting close, I got down to like 7 orders. Then just more orders come in, bro. And I can't complain. I'm blessed to have that. It's just that was my goal. I'm all right. When I work enough to get all the orders done, then I'll go play video games. But anytime I'm getting close, boom. So I also feel like it's like superstitious. So I like having that because then it means I'll never run out of orders to do. Front right negative, front right negative. And then today's a holiday, so the post office won't be here today. So we're sending out everything UPS. Come on. Okay. So normally on the TSX, we would twist our greens and our purples together. That's not the case for the Honda Civic. The Honda Civic has a dedicated subwoofer. So this is actually going to go to here instead. So I'm not going to, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that now so that I don't get confused. Okay. That's negative. That's negative. And I need to get a haircut. I'm going to go get a haircut later today, hopefully. as long as nothing happens, nothing random comes up, then I should be able to go. I tried this weekend, but my barber couldn't give me a time. He was like, "Oh, if you come and wait, like I could definitely cut you, but like I'm not sure on the exact time." And unfortunately, that's just not an option right now. Like I need the exact time, so can't leave my wife alone too long with the baby. Like she she needs to go to the bathroom. Something's gonna happen. She's gonna need my help with something, so gotta be around, especially with the two dogs. So today he said later in the day he thinks right around 5 I should be good. And then I would like you can't just go to any random barber, bro. Like that's a recipe for disaster. You're signing up for disaster right there. Even if you go to the same barbershop but choose a different barber, like sometimes it'll be all right. Sometimes you're like, why did I do this? Okay. All right, so all these are ready. We can twist these on now. Excuse me. Yeah. I'm just prepping these so that they're easier to twist. When you have more exposed copper, it's easier to twist around each other compared to when there's not any exposed copper. All right, so we're going to start with front right positive. Let me bring this forward because I am working a little bit more forward. Okay, so front right positive, which is gray. Positive is on the top, so here we go, gray. And we got front right negative. Cool. And we got front left positive. Oh, damn, really? That's the worst, especially when you just put in a new radio. Turned on some stuff. Yeah, Kenwood has a ton of audio settings, so you'll easily get lost. Um, but just play around with it. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You'll eventually get bass. Hold on, what did I do wrong here? But as you play around with it, you'll learn to like. There's a whole page dedicated to sound settings. That's why I really like Kenwood radios, because they do have a ton of audio options to get your sound exactly how you want it to sound. It's almost like having a DSP. I saw a video that Wavetech's coming out with a new amp. JBL also has an 8-channel amp I did not know about. Just doing research. I'm always trying to learn stuff, so I'll share that with you guys in another stream. But yeah, Wavetech's coming out with a new 8-channel amp that can be bridged. I think it'd be good for some of the ELS Acuras. And then JBL has a 4-channel amp that's a little less expensive if you're just trying to amplify channel by channel. And then there's a 4-channel amp that's relatively expensive. That's good for integration. So I want to see what that. I ordered one of those to see what it's going to be like. Yeah, it will. You're going to introduce. So whatever change you made, the amp is going to amplify that change. Sometimes you're going to boost a signal before the amp, and the amp will make that signal louder, but it won't create any distortion. Sometimes you will create distortion, but you'll hear it. You're not going to do any major damage to your amp as long as you're cautious of the changes you're making, and you're not like, oh, let me put the bass +6 and then turn the volume up to max. Like, you're going to, I know enough about you, Spark, to know that you'll incrementally listen to your changes and try and test them out. So I don't think you're going to cause any damage to your amp in any way. Causing damage to your amp is mostly from improper wiring, and then settings do matter, but as long as you don't touch the settings on the amp and you're just messing with settings on the radio, I don't think you can change enough to truly cause permanent damage to your amp or any sort of like meaningful damage. Like, yeah, you might hear distortion once or twice and you're like, oh, I need to back that setting off, and that's perfectly normal. But you like hearing distortion and then cooking your amp because you continue to play it at that, I don't think you would do. Okay, all right, so now we gotta solder all these wires together. Pretty straightforward process here. It's just soldering. Honda Civic people are starting to buy this amp. It's one of those things again, guys, where like I have not installed this in a Civic myself. I want to buy a Civic now to make videos with it because I thought that whole Civic genre was like completely covered. Like I figured like, nah, like this has videos on YouTube. Like plenty of people know how to do this. And that's not really the case. There is a lot of information out there, but the Civic is pretty complex when it comes to audio stuff, like the options and all the different trims. And it seems that a lot of people just aren't sure what they have. So I might do a video just kind of explaining all the different audio systems. But we'll see. One step at a time with our Acura stuff. But yeah, this amp's starting to pick up some sales. Like I listed it maybe a year ago, and just like how normally things go, usually about a year of it being online, it would have sold like a few times throughout that year. But now we're selling one like every month or so, which is a lot more common. And then this last few months, so let's say the amp's been up for 18 months, probably, right? Maybe less than that. Let's call it a period of a year, right? Within the first 8 months, you sell maybe one a month, maybe that. And then as the internet does what it does, eventually the word gets out there a little bit more. And then now I feel like we're selling one every 2 weeks instead. Like the sales on this are going up. But I have to be very cautious and still ask people what they're installing to make sure that they're not having any issues or trying to use this in a manner that won't work correctly. Because if you have the base audio system, like if you have a Civic you have an SI or ELX, you have the premium audio system, and you have the stock premium audio system, then the amp works great, no problems. But usually Civics do get modified. So then it's like I need to know what radio you installed, how you installed it, what speakers you have installed, what sub you have installed, to make sure that you're not going to run into any issues. But this is one of those, again, where we haven't personally installed this, so I can't verify exactly the installation and everything. It's just people keep... All right. Someone asked, can we make the amp for them? I said, yes, sure. Then their friend comes around, or someone they know comes around and messages, hey, can you make the amp? You made the amp for so-and-so, can you make it for me? Sure. So then I'm like, all right, let me just list it somewhere so that people can just buy it when they refer to each other, whatever it turns out to be. But then from it being on the internet, people find it, and then that's how the word starts getting out, and then we're like kind of selling it because you bought it, but also because we have gotten good feedback from people. So like we know it's not something bad. We know it works good. Like the amp's solid. We sell the amp every day for a different car, but on your Civic, I don't have all the information yet. But people keep buying it, man. People keep buying it, so it must be working good. Keep recommending it to each other. That's usually how these sales come about. It's like someone bought it and then they went and posted about it somewhere. So it's not like we're just getting random people to buy it. they have some reference. And I feel like that helps because they know what to expect. They've talked to someone who has it. They understand is what they need to do or they need to have for this to work correctly. All right. So now we're going to do these three. I'm trying to think what I can use. Hold on. 1 sec. That was a lot. Went over my head. All right. So I might call you when I'm in the car and go over the stuff I changed. Bass volume on the amp is on. Does not increase volume bass. A boost is on. The amp does this negate the bass control. No. Oh yeah, I remember you were saying that the bass knob wasn't doing anything. So did that fix itself, or what did you end up doing? Did you do the test where you set the level to max and then tried with the knob, or what did you end up doing? I forgot that even happened. That's a little too much. All right, let me open it up. Oh, I put blue on there. Okay. It's getting hot in here, YouTube. And the AC is on, bro. I don't know why the AC not working today. It's a chillier day, though. Oh, come on, really? God damn. Oh, there's a piece stuck in there. Okay. All right. Okay, so now all these are soldered. I'm just trying to get the solder ball out of the way before it burns me, okay? And now we could slide the heat shrink over it and then add all our zip ties. And this is pretty much done. We just have to connect our RCAs, but we'll cover all that in a second. Let's hook up the stuff we gotta hook up. Okay. That's exactly why I opened them up just a little bit so they would go through no problem. And then that's good. Oh, I might have moved the black too much. Okay. Nice. Happy to hear that, man. It's good news, baby. How was the clearance on the C3s? Did they barely fit or they still had room? All right, so now we got all our RCAs, baby. All right, so it's like bring the labels just a little bit down so they're all in the same area. Okay, cool. Start zip time. What's up? Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday, everybody. I think today's a holiday, Columbus Day, right? I think. I don't know for sure. I did not look that up. I just know it's a holiday because the mailman's not coming. UPS is still coming. We're still shipping. I'm here working, obviously. I'm sure a lot of you are out there working too, or have to work, or already did work, whatever it turns out to be. I'm making an amp for a Honda Civic. That's what you see here in front of me. So there's a 5-channel amp for a Honda Civic. We're about to get... Oh, nice. Awesome. Yeah, no problem, man. Thank you. If you get an email for a review, if you could please leave a review, that helps a ton. If you could leave a review on Google, if you could look up Acura Audio Garage on Google and leave a review on there, I need to raise the reputation. Some guy was upset about some bracket that he used and then tried to return, and I wouldn't take it back. So he left a 1-star review. So I'd like to combat that. So if you had a good experience, if you go share it on Google, Google Acura Audio Garage, the listing in Bayshore will come up. If you could just say, hey, you know, your actual experience, whatever your experience was. But yeah, I remember that guy called me, and I was kind of no, it was over email. Yeah. He called me. I was like, hey, I've looked everywhere. You're the only one who has it. And then he was like, could you please ship it right away? So I shipped it to him right away. He's like, oh my god, that was so fast, and he got it. And the sub he's using isn't is thicker than the screws we send. So you've seen the screws. I showed them on stream. They're those silver screws. Those are 1/2 inch. He needed like 3/4 inch for his sub. I didn't ask him which sub he was installing. I assumed, which obviously I made an ass of myself. But anyways, the guy was upset that he used it. His screws that he ended up buying didn't work out the best. So then the thing like came apart on him. So he was like, hey, I just want to return it. I told him, I'm like, hey man, you put new holes in the bracket, you drilled holes in it, like it's not going to be able to be used by anyone else. It's a used item. We don't take used items back. And he was just like, well, all right, whatever. I can't believe something over $30. I was all right. He's like, I'll just review it. And I was okay. Do what you got to do, man. See, like 2 years ago, I'd be like, oh no, you're going to leave me a bad review? No, I can't. But it's just a principle sometimes, man. Because like honestly, from a business sense, it doesn't make sense to take a 1-star review over $30. Like, because it's $30. Like I give him his $30 back, he goes away. I don't hear him from him again. I don't have a 1-star review. But it's just the principle of people thinking like they can come get stuff, use it, and then return it. If he would have been like, hey man, like for some reason the sub, like he was just nasty from the beginning and rude. Like from the beginning. So I'm like, why would I help someone who's rude and nasty to me? What sedan base model, or is it a ELS? I'm assuming it's a base model. Okay. All right. So I need to talk to you real quick because we need to clip this. And I look crazy. I can see myself on the screen, so I just like, God, it looks crazy. But okay. 2006, 2011 Honda Civic. Uh, Very near and dear to my heart. My actual wife used to have one. I made a video on it way back, like 6 years ago. But that was a EX, so it did not have the premium audio system. So you have the premium audio system, you have the factory amplifier. Factory amplifier is either tucked inside the center console where you're not going to see it if you have a coupe, or it's underneath the seat, your driver's seat if you have a sedan. What I want to tell you is if you're thinking about getting either the 4-channel or the 5-channel, it's really going to be most important on the 5-channel. Thinking about getting the 5-channel amp, plug and play amp. 5-channel amp gets its input via these RCAs. The factory radio of your Honda Civic only outputs 4 channels of audio. So look, here's our mismatch, right? Let me go full screen on this. Here's our mismatch. You have 4 channels of audio from the factory radio, but if we count here, we have 6 RCAs. So that means 2 aren't going to get used because we're only going to do 4 to 4. So that ends up looking like this. Here are the 4 RCAs. Here are the 4 female RCAs. Male to female, we're going to plug these together. But look, the amp has 2 extra RCAs that don't get used. And what are these for? These are for your sub control. This is your subwoofer signal. So your actual amplifier actually can combat this. It can take the signal from these 4 and generate a sub, or you can send it a dedicated sub. Since your Honda Civic radio only outputs, there's really a fly here, bro. Only outputs 4 channels of audio. You only have 4 to connect. You have no sub control from the factory radio. That's what I'm trying to get out of here. The factory radio controls the factory sub in your factory configuration. The way it does that is when you do the bass plus 5 plus whatever, it just increases bass out of the rear speakers. So it also increases to the sub. So you can use that same control here, but it's going to increase bass to your rear speakers, and you might actually hear it with this amp. There might be a little bit of rattle back there, etc. So if you want individual subwoofer control on the factory radio, you're going to need to run the bass knob. And that's ultimately what I'm getting to, is you don't have to, but highly recommend to install the bass knob in your Honda Civic. You're just going to run it up the center console and mount it somewhere. This fully comes out of the little black enclosure in here, and you can mount it. And then, like I was saying, of course, I was saying before, the amplifier has an input switch right here that will tell you if you're in 4-channel, 5-channel, or 2-channel. We always ship it in 4-channel, so those 4 channels then generate the audio for the subwoofer, and that's how this amplifier will be configured for your Honda Civic. And this is a main thing in the 5-channel amp. The 4-channel amp, there's only 4 channels of audio. You're only amplifying 4 channels. But on the 5-channel amp, I just wanted to put that in front of you, let you know about that because it is important. Now let's answer this phone call. Acura Audio Garage, how can I help you?
Hey, how you doing, buddy? This is Juan. I made an order from you, I think, like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I was wondering if I got the kit, everything from you, but I was wondering if you saw a plug that I could keep on my function for my steering wheel and like a plug and play plug for the radio.
Sure. Let me find your order so I can see what you ordered, and then I can tell you what you need. Okay. What was the name on the order?
1 second.
Okay, 1 sec. There's my keyword. Oh, okay. I remember, Juan. We spoke. You did the whole system, then you're putting in a Pioneer radio.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. So your radio's turning on. You have sound. You just want to get your steering wheel controls to work?
I didn't install everything. I didn't do anything yet. But I was like, if I wanted to do it, I wanted to do it right. So I was wondering about, like, hopefully you saw like a plug and play with a Pioneer, so I can use my steering wheel, control, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So You want to do an exchange then? You want to return the DIY and just get a plug and play harness? Or you're gonna
Which one? The one with the plug?
yeah, the plugs, or you're gonna plan to wire yourself, or you want to keep both? What do you want to do? So we do have a plug
I
and
keep it
play
just in case.
harness. Go ahead, sorry.
I keep it just in case.
Okay, all right. So we do have a plug and play harness. I'll send you the link, and then I'll send you the link to the steering wheel controller. The steering wheel controller, you can get a better price on Amazon right now. So I'll send you the link to Amazon,
Okay.
and then I'll send you the link to our harness. It's for a '07. What year is your TL?
Oh, hey.
Okay. All right, one second. Let me get there. Harnesses. Okay. All right. The number you're calling me from is a cell phone.
Yes.
Oh, damn! It didn't come up correctly though. Hold on, one second.
No problem. The Pioneer that I have is 4660. Next.
Okay. Yeah, man, it didn't come over correctly, so I'm gonna need you to give me your phone. Do the actual link right now. Okay, so here's the link. That's for the harness. You're just gonna choose Pioneer from the drop down, and then we'll make it for
Okay.
the model you said, and I'm gonna send you the link to the AXWC right now.
Okay. I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, basically that's the same one that I have from you that I'm seeing right now, and so this one I'll keep. I don't mind.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. It's up to you. If you want to return, you definitely can. Yeah. So the
Okay.
new one will be completely plug and play. You won't have to wire anything, and then you just got to get this box from Amazon. I sent you that link just right now. It's the AXWC, and that'll plug right into our
Okay.
harness, so you won't have to rewire anything. You'll just plug it in, and then the control should auto program. It's just a matter of
Okay.
you holding volume up when you plug it in and hold it together and stuff.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I don't remember how much I paid for the hardware that you take a return.
$30.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to send it back probably, right?
You would just have to cover the return shipping. If you do it with the post office, it might be like $7, $8. Honestly, you don't need like if you have the Pioneer plug and then you order the AXWC, you'll have all the wiring to make the harness yourself. If you want to save that,
Okay.
and then I could send you the video that shows you how to wire it all. It's just up to you if you want to like do it or not. You know.
Okay. Send me the video, see how I feel.
Okay.
Like, so my time is limited, so it's kind of hard to do so much at one time.
No,
I only got the weekends.
yeah, I got you, man. I'm in the same boat, so I hear you. Yeah, I think if you watch the video like at night, and then try it the next morning, it'll take you like 30 minutes, maybe an hour if you really screw something up, but I doubt it'll take that long. It's like connecting like 6 or 7 wires. The only thing that might trip you up is the steering wheel control, so just like watch that part maybe 1 or 2 times, so that
Okay.
you really get an idea.
Perfect.
But
No
okay.
problem. Thank you so much for the help.
Yeah, no problem.
Any question, I'll get a reach out.
Okay, you got it. And then I'm sending you the video right now.
Yeah.
The video's like an hour long, but the wiring's only like 20 or 30 minutes, and it's like covered halfway in the video.
Okay. Perfect. Good. I got it. Okay. So that'll be all. Thank you so much for your help.
No problem, man. You got it. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that, YouTube. All right, NYC. So I don't know how I feel about this one. So you obviously can put speakers in the rear doors. That's not a problem. You can put any speaker you want in there. What I've seen people do with the TSX is they'll take speaker wire. They'll run it through the boot of the back door and then run it to the rear deck and tap the rear deck speakers. So they'll use the rear deck speakers and the rear door speakers with the same signal. And it doesn't seem to cause issues. I don't know. Those are 4 ohm speakers, 4 ohm speakers. So maybe you bring them down to 2 ohms and the amplifier is fine with that. I'm not sure. Excuse me. So, if you're watching this video later on YouTube, someone asked, "Hey, I wanted to put speakers in my rear doors of my 2012 Acura TSX, and what do you recommend for what speakers and what amp?" So normally, your factory system is 5 channels: front left, right, rear left, sub, and then the tweeters are included with the fronts. Um, Normally, that's how it's set up. Like it's a 5 channel system. It is active. Actually, I'm lying. No, it's not a 5 channel system because your tweeters are active. TSX are active tweeters. So it's a 7 channel system. Tweeters, woofers, rear deck. That's 6. It's a 7 channel system. And then your sub. So now you want to make it a 9 channel system because you want to add rear door speakers. So you can grab the signal from the rear deck speakers to put in the door. People say it works. I'm sure at louder volumes they'll give you an issue. If you want to do it the right way, it would be to take the rear speaker signal and send it to an amp and then amplify. Like there's no good way to do it. There's no easy way that's straightforward and clean, um, because you would need to take signal away from the rear door speakers, or you could take the signal out of the rear door speakers, send it to an amp, and then amp both rear door and rear deck. That seems more natural, straightforward. Um, to amplify the whole system, I'm not really sure, man. I'm not really sure on that one. That one's it's such a weird thing to know. What do you think? What speakers were you thinking of putting back there? And I don't know why my face is blurry. It keeps doing that. But yeah, what speakers were you thinking about NYC to put back there? You could do JBL, like you could do OEM speakers, honestly, as well. But all right, back to our Honda Civic thing because we were way off track. Let me move my phone. All right, so Honda Civic amp. These are the RCA's. Remember, I told you factory 2. Factory has 4 channels, and the 2 are left for the sub. But we send the sub signal through here. It gets generated out of these 4. The way these line up is front left is white, front right is gray, rear left is green, rear right is purple. Also, if you're unsure, when you plug this in on the side of the amp, there are labels there. So take this out one more time, and then you'll see right here it is labeled so that you know which one's which as well. And then for the tuning for this amp, we are going to turn on bass boost. We are going to turn on our high pass filters, and I'm going to turn these to the appropriate places. Where's my blue little tool? There it is. Yeah, man, you came like when I was not even like set up to do anything. Now I can do it out of my house and be totally fine and not have any issues. But yeah, I think you caught me like when I had just moved here or was like in the middle of warehouses and trying to figure out what I could do and couldn't do. But now, since I'm in the house, I could do whatever I want, man. But yeah, I'm sorry it did not work out. But I think 1 amp, 2 amps, one for your speakers, one for your. Oh, you might be a perfect candidate for what I was talking about earlier. I'll show you real quick. This fly really out here, bro. Too slow apparently. All right, turn these to all the right settings. Yeah. Oh, I missed the gloves guide. Do you have any disposable surgical gloves? Nah, I'm sorry, Sam. I have plenty of car audio stuff if you're interested in that, but unfortunately, I do not have any gloves, my friend. All right, we still got to do a sub for this guy as well. He got an amp and a sub. I think my wife made some food, guys, so I might go eat in a little bit. Take a little quick 15-minute lunch. All right, that harness goes in there. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna put this harness over here. Oh, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out how to pack the amp most efficiently, where the wires will not get damaged, and just trying to figure out what's the best way here. Looks like this will work. Then here's the foam and the thing. This is what we're using for our next amp, and then that's all set to go. All right, we don't have a box for this. I called my box supplier on Friday. No, I think I called on Thursday with you guys. They told me they would have the stuff today. They said they'll bring it today, but crap, they haven't called yet. Honestly, I don't think they're gonna bring it today. To be honest, I think they lied. But we will see. All right, so now we're doing this sub real quick. So this is a sub for a Honda Civic, and it's just like an accurate tail sub, which is very weird. It's things you don't know until you start doing. That Acura and Honda like to shift stuff and reuse stuff. Yeah, that Acura tail video, bro, I am excited for. I literally saw that the last time I made that video was a year ago. It said, I was like, God recommended it because, like, obviously I have my own, I have the YouTube channel, obviously, right? But then I have my own personal YouTube where I watch stuff, and it got recommended to me and said 1 year ago. I said, bro, what? This video I made 1 year ago? No freaking way, bro. Time flies, bro. Like, I know people who are waiting on a follow up, like, bro, this guy quit. This guy did not, like, he just lied to us. He didn't do it. No, bro. I did not forget. I just couldn't do it. And it's been a whole year. That's crazy how life will just catch you like that. A whole year, bro. That, like, honestly, when I saw that, I could not believe it. I was sitting. Was I sitting or laying down? I think I was laying down. I was like, no way, it's been a year. But yep. Can't believe it's been a freaking year. And it sounds like a long time, but it's not a long time at all, my friend. I feel like it's just crazy how your perception of time changes as you get older. Like when you're young, like, I guess because you're in school every year, like, years feel like forever. Like a whole year. Now you're like, oh, it's going to take me a year to master this, a year to learn this. It does not have the same effect or weight as it did. All right, so that's that connector. Also, I think when it comes to just knowledge in general, making sure this is clean, that something I've learned now is that you think you know and you don't know. And a lot of people are very, very ignorant because they learned a specific thing, a specific amount of specific thing, and they've been able to use that throughout their entire life to make money, to run their personality. They won't break past that. They won't accept the new knowledge, I would call it. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about just in general, like picture a doctor who keeps like prescribing the same medicine while new medicine is around that can be better for your illness. But he's stuck. He didn't continue learning, so he's still giving you a treatment from that was the best treatment 20 years ago, but not what is the best now. And that's what I'm talking about. Like people get stuck in that, and I hope that never happens to me. I hope that I continue to want to learn and not be ignorant about stuff, because that's something I've learned that I don't know shit. Like I may know, like to hear you guys may be watching, like yo, this guy knows a lot of stuff. I don't know shit. There's so much that I think I know and I don't truly know, and it's crazy. Yeah, I still have the 877 number and the 61 number. Yeah, 4 years ago. Yeah, that's crazy, man. 4 years ago was crazy. I never would thought I'd be here, YouTube. If you told me, young me in school, right? I'm learning um, computer science, but I'm not smart enough for computer science because I didn't take what like 10th end of 10th grade before all right, end of 10th grade 2010, 2011, 2010, I learned how poor my family was and that I was not going to be able to, I was set on going to college, but I was not going to be able to go to any college that I actually wanted to go to. I was going to have to go to community school. So community school me was honors community student. Yeah, I think I took three or two honors classes, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. These is like, there's no point. This is the same credit as a regular college class. So then, community college me um, decides, okay, I'm going to do 2 years here, and then I'm going to go into Stony Brook. In Stony Brook, I'm going to study computer science. I did not take those 2 years seriously because I was selling cars, and I got like a little taste of what it was to make a decent amount of money. Not even decent. I was like $2,000 a week, which like yeah, sure, it's a lot of money for a 19-year-old, but in long term, that's not enough money to survive. Um, so then I stopped taking school as serious. Don't end up doing what I need to do on my prerequisites. Get into Stony Brook generally, but not into my program. So I'm like, damn, what do I do now? So then I'm like, okay, I'm going to be a computer programmer, which is different than a software engineer because a software engineer actually learns a lot more mathematics, a lot more algorithm stuff. Computer programmer, you're just more like a glorified set. Like you're the mechanic, you're not the engineer. You're just, you know where the things go, you know how the settings go. So if you told that kid that he was okay, like this is what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be a computer engineer, I'm gonna make websites, I'm gonna program servers, blah blah. If you told that kid, I was what, probably 21 at that point, 21, 22, and go, hey, when you're 33 years old, you're gonna be live streaming on YouTube from your garage. He would have been like, bro, what kind of loser is live streaming from his garage at 33 years old? That's probably what I would have thought because my trajectory after, so I didn't go to Stony Brook because I didn't get into my program, so it's gonna send me back another year. So then I ended up going to Farmingdale. So I go to Farmingdale. Out of Farmingdale, I started applying to jobs. I got linked with the Amazon recruiter and a Microsoft recruiter. And then in the middle of that, COVID happens. COVID happens. I had already bought the Acura, so I was doing some Acura stuff, but COVID killed all communication with any um, recruiter, which I'm not sure if I would even pass those interviews to be honest with you, but whatever. Then the whole audio journey starts, and now here I am, 5 years later, 6 years later, 2025, 5 years later, guys, and this is what we're doing: live streaming me making amps. And I'm not complaining. I'm not saying like, oh, how did my life turn out this way? No, no, I'm just telling you that if you would have told me that at 21, I would have never believed you that this is what I would be doing. But you know what's crazy? At like 5, 6 years old, I used to take apart electronics. At like 12, 11, I used to take apart my grandma's boom boxes and take the speakers out of them and fuck with the speakers. I didn't know what I was doing. I would just take them apart and piss my grandma off, bro. She would get so mad at my mom. Like, why do you let your son do this? And I've always liked audio. I've always been passionate about sound. And I think it's funny that it all comes back around this way. And my computer background is very, very good now because all this stuff is getting computerized. DSPs, everything's just little computers you have to program and deal with. So it all worked out. I'm happy with what I'm doing. I just think it's crazy to have been to come full way this way. This isn't the end, obviously. I'm still kind of like freaking who the KFC guy didn't start till like 55 or something. There's other stories like that of people just starting really late. So I feel like this is part of the journey, but not the end of the journey, honestly. And yeah, here I am now. And there's still so much more that I want to learn and do. And I really wish I had like wealthy parents or like a wealthy uncle or something so they could lend me some money and I can like jumpstart this thing. Because now that I've gone to the school of hard knocks, so I had the shop, I've gone through everything, I've struggled, I've launched my own product with my own money, credit card debt, all the other stuff. Now I feel like I have a little bit more handle on what it would take to successfully launch the next product. And there's like two or three products that I think would be really successful. It's just I can't self launch them. And there's no, at least I haven't found anyone who would fund, like any bank or institution who would fund a deal like that. Like, hey, like, here's my layout. So I already have a business. This isn't a business plan. This is a product plan. So I want you to invest in this product and we'll revenue share. I'll pay you back whatever it turns out to be, but they're just not interested in things like that. At least I haven't found anyone who would lend money to just fund a project to launch a product. But I'm excited for the future. This order is done. I'm going to ship it out and then I'm going to move on to the next thing. But I will catch you guys later, YouTube. I appreciate y'all watching. NYC, I was not ignoring you. I was just finishing my story. You can call me anytime, man. I'm here 10 to 6. If it's going to be a long phone call, uh, then call me later in the day so that there's no one else waiting on hold. Because sometimes people will call me, we'll have like a long conversation, there'll be someone on hold that I have no idea, and then I'll hang up and then I'll get the next phone call and they're like, I just waited 20 minutes on hold. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I don't have like call waiting, you just go into the queue. And I don't have the phone system up to know how many people are in the queue. So yeah, Shark Tank. More like Family Tank. Rich Family Tank, and I can go pitch them. Um, but all right, YouTube, I will catch y'all tomorrow's stream. I will hopefully have gotten a haircut and look like a clean young man instead of a freaking homeless person. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening.